Hello, everybody. I welcome you all to today's session. Today, we are going to break all the myths and the negativity around doing a PhD. Yes, you heard me right. We're going to talk about the real truth of doing PhD in India, the brighter side that often gets ignored. I'm Dr. Vaishali, academic specialist at Biotechnica, and this video is for all of you who are thinking of doing PhD or who are dicey about whether to do a PhD or not. Come, let's explore the topic together. So today, we are going to divide it into three sections, right? First, about how PhD is going to help you in your individual improvement. Second, how is it going to help you in your career perspectives? And third, how is it going to help the society in large? Let's talk about the individual or the self-improvement. So the first point is problem solving. Well, in PhD, the first thing that you do is identify a problem. There are numerous problems in this world, and your job is to identify one single problem and solve it day in and day out. So obviously you have picked up that particular skill. You are a problem solver. Second is you become a very mature person. Looking back, you will definitely know that you are far more mature than what you were soon after you graduated or even during your graduation. So yes, it definitely does get you that maturity. You become a more calm and composed person. Second is about investing on yourself, right? So if you get a job, you are definitely going to earn and you're definitely going to work, but you're going to work for the company, right? You're not going to work for yourself, although you do learn certain skills and experience. But when you're doing PhD, the amount of learning that you get is a lot more. So basically, you're going to invest on yourself. Next is about getting knowledge. You're going to be surrounded with real knowledgeable people, and you're going to be in contact with them on an everyday basis. So obviously you are going to also become knowledgeable. You would be reading numerous papers, and yes, you're going to really gain a lot of knowledge and become a more mature person. The next we are going to talk about is creation of information. Well, there is a lot of information available in today's world. Well, you're not just going to take that information and regurgitate it out, right? You're going to create information. You're going to create valuable information that's going to help this society, right? So yes, there you are. You're a creator of information. Second, you will learn to be an independent contributor. So when you're working for PhD, half of your time you're going to be working alone. And at that time, you will learn skills where you can be an independent worker or independent contributor. So that is one of the things that you will imbibe while doing PhD. Second, not just that, you will also learn teamwork, because in your PhD, you're going to work with your peers, you're going to work with other professors, etc. in your research work. So obviously, you will also learn teamwork. Next, improvement in reading, writing, and presentation skills, right? So in PhD, especially when you just enter, you're going to read numerous papers, right? So you're definitely going to learn a lot about reading, what is important, what is not important, how to read and take whatever is needed for you, right? So that is where you're going to improve on your reading skills. And when you do a research, how are you going to put it out to the public? It's by writing and by presentation. So yes, you will be writing a lot of papers. You'll be writing your thesis. You'll be writing grants, etc. So that is how your writing skills are going to improve. And lastly, your presentation skills. So your presentation skills mainly, you will tell the world or your panel or your audience about your work through presentations. So presentation is very important, and you're going to learn that skill throughout your PhD. Next that we are going to explore is the career perspective. Now, if you are somebody who's interested in research, then how is PhD going to help you? That's what we're going to talk about now. So it's mainly going to help in ways that you will work with your peers, right? So you'll be surrounded by a lot of like-minded research people. So obviously your peers are going to make you learn even more, and you are going to share your knowledge with them. So that is how in PhD it's going to be a peer-to-peer learning. Second, you will learn the fundamental techniques and skills that is required for your research career, because PhD is just a start of your research career, and there is a lot of more to do in your research career as a whole. So this is going to be the fundamental, road that you're going to take when it comes to the techniques and the skills that you'll learn as a researcher. The second that we are going to talk about is teaching. Well, how is PhD going to help you in teaching? Well, a few universities or places do give you an opportunity to teach whenever you're doing your PhD. So when such an opportunity comes, do grab it, because it is the place where you can afford to make mistakes and learn from it, right? See, once you go to work, especially for teaching, you cannot make mistakes because you're expected to be an expert. But here, when you're doing your PhD, everybody knows that you're learning. So you have that opportunity to make mistakes and learn from it. So yes, grab that opportunity and go for teaching if you get a chance while doing your PhD. The next we are going to talk about is how, PhD degree holders are in high demand, especially in India as well as abroad, for in teaching profession. So yes, having a PhD degree definitely helps you get a very good teaching job. The next we're going to talk about is the industry. Now, in industry, what are the things that we are going to see is about the salary, right? Definitely, if you're a PhD holder, your salary is going to be way higher than a non-PhD a non-PhD person for the same position. So that's how a PhD would help you in one way in your industry career. Second, you're going to be a subject matter expert. So subject matter experts are in high demand in industries these days. So it either comes from experience or it comes from education. So you would be a subject matter expert who come from the education background. So obviously you would be in real great demand. The third is that you would have acquired a lot of transferable skills while doing PhD. Now, what are these transferable skills that I'm talking about? Well, these are skills that you would have acquired, which are definitely necessary when you are in the industry, when you are doing a job. But you can also transfer it to other employers. So this is what we mean by transferable skills. And what are the few transferable skills that you get while doing your PhD? We'll see it in the next slide. Well, the career skills that industries looks for that you get out of a PhD holder. The first is critical thinking. Critical thinking is about how good you are at solving a particular problem, right? How you're able to critically think and come up with the solution. So that is where critical thinking is really valued in an industry. Second is about fear of failure or uncertainty, right? So in PhD, what happens most of the time is uncertainty, right? So you wouldn't know what will happen tomorrow. Tomorrow your experiment might not work, or say your research proposal itself is changed, or say your supervisor itself is changed. So such things are very common when you're doing PhD, right? So you are used to it. You do not fear uncertainty or failure. And that is a very critical skill that industry values. The third that we are going to talk about is dealing with negative bosses, right? So in PhD especially, you might have to deal with a few problematic supervisors. And while doing so, you would have learned how to handle them, how to cope them, how to, have a smooth relationship, but still be assertive in what you wanted to convey. So you would have learned those skills. And those are few skills that wouldn't come to you by, just like that. You need practice, and PhD is the place where you would get practice and you would learn that skill. And definitely industries value those skills. And if you're able to transfer it to other employees, they are all the more happy. The next is about competition and collaboration. So in today's world, we have a lot of competition, right? as a PhD graduate, you are up for that world, because you would have competed with a lot of people, say while you're going to enter the PhD university, or say while you were, writing for grants, or say while you were writing your research paper and, the journal was going to accept it. In all of these situations, you're going to be highly competitive. So yes, you are ready for a competitive world. And at the same time, you're also open for collaboration, because in PhD, you cannot work just independently. You do collaborate with other research scholars, other peers and professors from same or even different university, from same or even different fields. So that is when you would learn how to collaborate with people, how to do teamwork, and how to do teamwork and excel in whatever you're doing, right? So that is one very valuable skill set. Though a combination of both being competitive and being collaborative is something that is definitely looked out for in an industry. And as a PhD graduate, you're going to have both of these skills. So these are the skills that an industry is looking for and a PhD graduate already has. Now, how does PhD help the society in large, right? Well, you are responsible for discovering how the world works and telling everyone about it. Yes, you are definitely having a big responsibility here as a PhD, and you can definitely change the world. You would have seen a lot of such changes during COVID itself, how invention and innovation helped in changing the world, and you could definitely be one of them. So yes, do not hesitate to go for your PhD. Do not be bogged down by all the negativity and all the myths that's coming around about PhD. There are definitely a lot of good things about doing this particular degree. So I'm sure that this video was really helpful for all those of you who are thinking of doing PhD. Do let us know in the comment section below whether you liked the video. Thank you so much for your time. See you all in the next video. Bye.